It's been 4 years, a lot of hard work, plenty of hype and industry blogging, tweeting and general murmuring and discussion, and now it's here. ITIL 2011, now just ITIL to you and me, has been released and sent out to the industry for comment, debate and hopefully use. What will this mean for the ITSM world? How do we respond? What does it mean to practitioners as well as consultants and industry gurus? What's different and new, and what could we still do a lot better? We'll investigate all of this in this, our September special feature. So, let's start by looking at what's in the new edition. We asked Matthew Burrows to give us a quick whirlwind summary of the changes in the new edition.
So, ITIL 2011 is an update to the 2007 release. There are 5 core books, which have a more consistent structure, including identical introduction and service management as a practice chapters. There are 45% more pages, 103 roles, 16 functions or teams, 26 processes are covered. Service strategy has been changed the most, with a new business relationship management process, clearer language, and more practical guidance and examples. Service design contains a design coordination process. Service transition gives clarification on the structure, content, and relationship between the CMS and the SKMS. Service operation now gives additional process flows for request fulfillment, access management, and event management. Continual service improvement now includes a CSI register where all improvement opportunities are recorded. So, apart from 45% more pages, what does the 2011 edition of ITIL do for us? Despite it not being a panacea, and as with all such things it could always be further improved, ITIL offers some extremely useful content, which used appropriately could help many. Lots of clarification is given in all 5 books, particularly with the much easier to read, more practical and substantially thicker service strategy book.
Here's some views from some key players in the industry involved with ITIL in a number of areas.
It's not like when version 3 itself came out. I think that was a big change, or was perceived as a big change. I think this is more of an update to an update.
I do have to be concerned as to why it took so long in the first instance, that it took years to create the new version.
It's not about changing, it's about improving the quality of V3, not creating V4.
I think it was a refresh, and as such I think it's just a regular update. Cabinet Office's policy on best practice is to refresh every 3 to 5 years.
Maybe there's a better way of developing it, using the industry better, using ITSMF.
It is a pretty open democratic process of election and appointment, rather than who are our friends that could be asked to do it.
I've always been very, very keen that lecturers and consultants actually get involved in things like ITSMF, get involved as examiners, that actually go out there and do it.
There are going to be some people that probably get a little bit worried about the fact that it's a lot bigger. So the size of it could be seen as a negative to some people because it's more content to get through. But a lot of that additional content is clarification, it's more examples, so some of it's quite useful.
I think there should be a little leader book, maybe 20, 30 pages that just says it's a framework and this is what frameworks are all about.
I guess it's one of those things that it's far easier to be destructive about the content than it is to be constructive. This is missing or that's missing or whatever it happens to be.
You can't do the whole lot at once. You've got to do them in bite-like sized chunks.
How do people know which bits to actually look at? And it's very difficult to advise them really, unless you've got the practical experience of doing it before and knowing which bits will work well in their situation.
Overall, from where I sit, it's been a positive and successful launch.
It should be planned not as a paper book that's going to become electronic, but as an electronic book which you can print a paper version of.
If you're getting someone that's using a lot of the different parts of version 3 and are striving to make that better, there'll be areas where they can use this updated version.
I think the idea of a survey of the service management industry that is method agnostic, that looks across the whole market.
I believe now that there should be a period of stability with the core volumes.
What could we do to streamline, to simplify and improve.
From a service desk perspective, we might have easy technology, we might have great scripts, we might have a knowledge base, but have we got the right people who understand that these people that they call end users are actually internal consumers or internal customers?
In other words, the customer is using technology direct. There's no person between them and the technology.
So should the best practice guides be slightly behind that innovation, or should they try and keep up with it? I think it's probably an impossibility to keep up with it if you look at the rate of change at the moment.
I think all we can do is try and work in some of the space around it. For me, the main thing is for us to start to discuss those ideas.
A step-by-step guide to planning or something would be a nice inclusion.
People are buying their ITIL fix from different people.
Higher and even further education establishments, certainly within the UK and outside of the UK, are starting to see the value in service management.
To me, I look at it probably at a high level, and the fact that it's still a very theoretical framework, and what IT service management practitioners are crying out for is something that's still a hell of a lot more real world, shall we say.
But I'd like to see practitioners involved so that they can actually say, look, this looks great on a piece of paper or on a screen, but it don't work. I'm never going to be able to do that.
Maybe there's an opportunity for more in-depth consultancy, advice by individuals and organisations, or maximising benefit from ITIL.
There is an industry that sits around IT.
It's not going to go away. It's got too much of a head of steam, and ultimately there is a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of, as Don Page once said to me, documented common sense, and I think that is such a great description of what ITIL is.
So, we've heard a number of opinions on what the ITIL 2011 refresh is and does, and what value it delivers. These opinions do vary significantly from the training and accreditation perspective, where the refresh is a positive and healthy development, to some analysts and consultants who question both the method and outcome of what is delivered by ITIL and the refresh. Certainly, it seems from feedback that the consistency and style of the books, text, references and diagrams, is much improved. In addition, there are some noticeable areas where the content has been improved, for example, incident problem and change management. But there are also areas where opportunities for improvement and inclusion have been missed, for example, service catalogue and the lack of input on cloud and areas like social media. Overall, it seems to me that significantly increasing the volume of content, which is already large, is not a great improvement in terms of practitioner's message and ease of access to information. There is, I think, still the potential for a short reference and practitioner's guide to making all this stuff work. However, volume aside, the general feedback on actual content is fairly positive. It would also be useful to run an independent state-of-the-nation review of the ITIL and wider service management industry. If there is, we'll certainly follow this on ITSMTV. You can also see more of the individual interviews shown in the Vox Pop section of our website. Next month, we will look at the growing demand and movement to give back to the industry or back to ITSM. Join us then.